Is there a way back for Cloud9 on Overpass? It is most certainly an uphill struggle. I think that is for everybody to agree. I think everybody agrees. It's going to be a hard task for Cloud9. I can't wait to see the updated odds from Pinnacle. I think MiBR were a heavy favourite. It was a fantastic first half from them, 14-1, starting on the CT side. It's Nuke though, so I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, and indeed there was a comeback attempt from Cloud9 as expected. So I don't know how much we can really take from that moving forward, but we're going to be moving into Overpass now, and again, I think Fallen's just going to be a giant issue to deal with. I think stylistically there isn't really an answer. Could you please put that back tidily in the fashion in which it was placed without disturbing my pen? Thank you. And it's not even facing me, it was this way around. If you're going to disturb my items, please return him. Has he found them? The manners are non-existent. Okay, here we go. Here are the odds. 1.27 for MiBR, 3.8 for Cloud9. Yeah, it's going to be a hard one for Cloud9. It's going to be a hard one, but I think that we will see more of the team. I mean, yeah, we saw 10 rounds, but I feel like it's not the same scenario when you're starting 1 to 14. It's not the kind of game where you don't really have the freedom that you might otherwise. And I think map-wise as well, on Nuke or like on a CT side, I don't think we're going to see the creativity from Cloud9 that we might from MiBR. I just think the style of MiBR is suitable for that. I don't even know what style you could give Cloud9 at the moment because I don't know what the identity of this team is just yet with these players.
Well, I do know like that they like to play pretty aggressively on their T sides, pretty fast moving. They like that mid-round style because of Golden. That's kind of the calling style that Golden has. But the problem is, I think that this is as much as you could say that compared with Nuke on this map, they could get in there. They always have a chance. Doesn't matter which side, CT or T side. They can always there's always space on the map. Unlike Nuke where it's very constrained. That applies to MiBR as well. And they look really confident on that Nuke game. Everyone was pushing. Cold Zero looked confident. Fur was doing his thing. Everyone seemed very confident, and Fallen, of course, as well, especially. So it could be that this is also very dominant for MiBR if they have that same performance. So I don't know. It's a tough one. What I want to see is a really good T side from Cloud9, and that will make me happy if I can see that.
I think they will have a lot better T side on Overpass. It's the map they picked. Hopefully, they're a lot more organized than Nuke. Overpass can be a lot forgiving, a lot less forgiving, or a lot more forgiving by doing a lot more defaults. I think Cloud9 probably more a defaulty team. So set smokes and just kind of working the map can do a lot better than a map like Nuke, where it's relied more on timing and kind of that intuition where I have to peek here, I have to walk out here at a certain time. So Overpass, you can kind of get away with a lot more defaulty play.
Automatic has to take over the game for them to win.
Against MiBR?
Yes, so he has to be able to do. I mean, he can. He has that skill.
He's an excellent sniper.
He's one of the best players in North America. Period. He's incredible.
He is. Amazing. He is. But I do wonder, especially with this stylistic matchup, to do for the team, not just because it's a 5-man team. He can't just do it all on his own. For the team to be able to overcome the stylistic matchup, I don't know if these players are going to find comfort, because if you look at Kiyashima and Flusher and so on, I feel like they would have more comfort. But I think you look at the current roster, and I mean, Vice is a very young player. I don't know what to think of him just yet. I don't know if he is ready for a team the level that Cloud9 should be at just yet. Something I'm still looking at. I think HB, obviously, we've seen the history where he was forced onto AWP and so on. So we've seen him in a lack of comfort in the most memorable parts of his career so far. So will they find comfort in this stylistic matchup? I don't know, but we are about to find out because Overpass will soon be starting, and then all the information will be known. Let us know what you think. What do you think about the Cloud9 roster at ECS on Twitter, or Face It, or our own Twitters as well? Get involved. If you tweet me, I'll often reply. So I'm big on replying, man. I'm on the keyboard. I built enough of them, so I might as well be. But yeah, let us know. Cloud9 fans, I want to know what your opinions are. And don't just think about name value. Think about the team and how they're playing. How they're playing, not just the name value. Because if it was all about name value, we'd never have players like Street 2K.
And no stats. Example. I don't want to hear no stat wars. I want to, like, why, okay? Why should we replace him? Not because he's plus minus the worst on the team. That's not how it works. It's a team game. Yeah. You have roles.
It's a team game. And sometimes, as we saw in some rounds in that previous game, Fallen, for example, was the point man on the T side, was jumping in to attract the guns, to allow his teammates to enable and clear the area and take the map control. So I actually did a video of a pistol round from FaZe Clan on Dust 2 when they were on the T side, and Olaf Mice was jumping into the B bomb site backwards, just bunny hopping backwards to try and hide his head and just take all the bullets in the back while his teammates trying to clear the site.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I remember
it
that.
was really, really awesome. So there are different roles to be had. Where's the match, guys? Where's the match? Okay, so they all just connected to the server, I'm told, which is interesting. Okay.
That's how it works. They connect and then they play.
Yeah, that is.
So that's good, I guess.
That is indeed how it works. So maybe a few minutes. What are we gonna spend this time talking about?
It's a good question.
I feel like we've gone through the match. We've spoken about Cloud9. Do we want to talk about MiBR? We haven't spoken about MiBR, at least in the last 5 minutes.
What about the Big Bang, James?
Okay, let's show us the knife. Let's see the knife. Let's see the knife.
Oh, okay. No physics then.
Let's transition into the Kneve, the knife round. I want to see the knives.
MiBR.
About.
What kind of knife you working with there, Dan?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that James gave me. I don't even know what it is.
What?
What kind of knife did you give Dan?
I loaned. Definitely loaned.
Just make that clear. You loaned it.
Talon knife, blue steel.
Oh, Talon.
I call it Zoolander. Right?
Yeah, blue steel.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
You see? Did you know that? Why it was called Blue Zoolander?
Yes.
Okay. Respect.
Well, he just heard you. So.
Big up yourself.
Now he knows.
So, I actually, I had a Tiger Tooth Karambit, and I sold it along with something else to buy what I always wanted, which was a Karambit Fade. Then I kind of, after 2 days, loaned it to Dan and forgot I actually bought it in the first place. I was like, hold on a second. I want to actually use this now. And I gave him the Talon knife because it triggers me to look at a stock knife.
Everyone always asks you about the knife as well in games. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't even know what it is.
Well, no credit. I'm so generous. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I just got this knife. Never mind who gave it to me. Anyway, Cloud9 will start on the T side, so maybe we will see something from them. We'll certainly see headshots in that short B position as they move in with some grenades as well. So far, so good. MiBR getting taken out one by one. Leaves Fer in a 1 versus 4 behind a smoke.
Wow. It's a pretty tough spot. It would be spectacular to see him find a way to win it, but it is low percentage. Cloud9 setting up appropriately behind that bomb plant, and Fer gets himself one. You got to be careful when you're picking against a USP, but Automatic also has a USP, and he's not afraid to have the aim battle there up towards heaven. So the 1-0 for Cloud9, they'll start off equalizing already their score of their first half in Nuke. Yeah, so
they're a pistol team. What can you say?
That's true.
Are a pistol team.
They've won all 3 pistols so far in this series. Cloud9 looking good.
Now it's got to capitalize and not lose to the force by MiBR.
Oh god, it's actually quite scary on Overpass as well. If you try to play too slow and default, you get oftentimes kind of wrecked because there's all the ways that you can reposition. And lots of action towards Fountain there as the nades are exchanged. And Phelps is looking for a timing to try to wrap and backstab on the players working around the Fountain. But they may actually not even go any further than this. It may just be that they're trying to keep MiBR honest from any pushes. Also, if you push this position very quickly, you can hear if they were to go down connector or like rush down connector. You should be able to hear any action towards that, and they're actually going towards bathrooms. And it's kind of scary because if they die, guns will be picked up, and MiBR will be very happy. There's one frag, and he didn't take too much damage. The dink came in. Golden gets him though, and now the push. Where do they go? They're going to rotate the bomb towards the B bomb site, but there's still one player there.
49 seconds remain. Taco and Fallen. 5-7 then a scout. Plenty of time for Cloud9 to solve the remaining problems in this round. Now it's Fallen with the scout. Oh, that's so satisfying to see. Really nice stuff. Bombs planted. Does he want to hold on to this? He could use it again in the next round. So satisfying to get a medium to close range headshot with the scout like that. It's so satisfying. Especially when you've got the Shark Scout. Okay, Fallen, keep going. The Shark Scout is the best. There will never be a better skin. Just stop releasing them for the Scout. The Shark one is the best. Especially when you've got the Bardolph Shark background and the model at the front is holding the Shark Scout. It looks beautiful.
Is it expensive? The Blood in the Water?
I think the factory new one is still quite expensive, the stat track. I have, I think, a minimal wear, and that wasn't cheap, but I had to have it.
You're just a man that indulges yourself constantly.
Simply had to have it.
I had to.
You're gonna dull your senses with all this excitement over these years.
Okay, well, so Cloud9, they will survive the anti-force buy. And there was a lot of things going on in that round, a lot of scary moments, especially the poking around the bathrooms and that first fight against the MP9 that did not start out too well. But Cloud9 have done it, and now they know that there's way less to worry about in this round. They'll spot Fallen doing his usual tricks towards the fountain there. Oh my god, re-peeking that is pretty nuts, actually. And this push better go well for Cloud9. They need this to be a clean entry to the bomb site. In comes the Deagle, out goes the Deagle. They've done what they needed to do. Vice with that Mag 10 going first. Performing well, doing exactly what he's meant to do. He will die, but that's okay. Felts will get traded down, and Fallen will fall as well. So 3-0 Cloud9. And now we'll get to see the AWPs. Now we'll get to see the rifles coming to the hands of MiBR. They'll get the option to go really aggressive if they want to, or they can start off really passive. There's so many options of how you can play the CT side of Overpass. It's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people really enjoy this map in professional play and enjoy playing it because it's so diverse in what you can do.
Borg. His last name's Borg. It's a good name.
Bjorn Borg, tennis.
Or
Double
Borg.
peek, and oh, he's lucky to get away. He's stuck in the corner. They can't chase him too much, or now they can. I think the smoke is a giveaway that he's the only person towards the V-bomb site. It would be a gamble for the CTs to push otherwise. However, maybe a gamble they're willing to take. Now, that's a lot of early information that there are probably 4 people towards A, soon to be 5. It's early though, so that can change, but that will allow MiBR to prepare to visualize, to try and catch somebody off guard with a nice pop flash, maybe.
MiBR have read this round so well because, as you say, like they get the pick towards Fountain, they see Cajun B towards Monster. From that alone, they can see that it's a default, and that usually means more players will be towards A for most teams. And you can see that the push in towards sewers that's all the B defense that there is now, because MiBR are pretty convinced it's going to be the A bomb site. That said, a lot of time has passed as Cloud9 do put on the brakes for the moment, which means that it's not 4 players but 3 here, but that might be enough because Fallen gets himself the first frag, doing the damage that you expect of him on this map. And Fur, there's just so much going on that they just don't anticipate Fur in the bathrooms. And now Cajun B with 7 HP is alone, and there's not too much that can be done. He can't get a kill, and that's 5 players that will survive in MiBR's first buy rounds.
Did they get too much information early? Losing no one, MiBR. I didn't get a chance to say it, but I liked Fallen's angle on the outside of toilets as well, because there is like a small bed of grass at the entrance to A, and if you stand on there, you can see people popping out of connector, but also divider and going around the outside. And it's a common place where you might get pop flashed, and maybe he would have been flashed as well, but I think the off angle is nice because it could lead players into a false sense of security. We've got a sideways flashbang, a quick pick from Fallen, quick flick, and no connection on this occasion. Cloud9 looking to connect with 2 AK-47s in this round. A good start to Overpass, but again, they didn't achieve much in that previous round. The first buy round for MiBR, no kills. They'll need to change that on this occasion. You see 2 players in that position as a pop flash. One thing that people at home won't consider too much is that a sniper will often need to be a support flash person for their teammates as well on many sites, especially around A sites across different maps. Fallen delivering a shot to automatic. Golden tries to move close, tagging with the Molotov. They know he's there now. It's one of 3 players. Collects the AK-47, but only Cajun B has Kevlar.
Fur played that really well, how he took the fights and how conservative he was. Drops the smoke, eventually understands the spot in which he can fall back safely. And they give him the AWP because he's so weak. Fallen will take the AK instead, and a quick boost there. And it's more swapping of weapons for Cloud9 as they look to try to find a frag here. Quick flash over the top. And this divided position looks impossible to break. Falling close as well. And Shadow Advantage takes down one. That's the bomb spotted. And now Fur, they'll feed into him all the angles. And another round where 5 players survive, defeating Cloud9 around the bathrooms.
That's really impressive to have 5 people pretty much 2 rounds in a row on technically a gun round. I mean, there's only 2 AKs on Cloud9 because the money made it so they, you know, buy 2 AKs and they can buy next round. So it'd be even impressive if they survive another round with 5 people alive.
(3-2) in favor of Cloud9. Both teams on a bye. Plenty of grenades, plenty of flashes. Try and get these aggressive angles off of these CTs. Fur jumps towards the bench and he's forced away again. The train passes. KGB floats underneath. Has a look towards the short B position, looking for a jump peak or a boost. Nothing doing just yet. Slow approach towards long. No one long for MiBR. Fur still spotting around the toilets. Not smoked off for the time being. And Fallen's in a rough spot because it's very hard to retreat from this position with an AWP. He doesn't plan to at the moment. You can see Fur just fired a few shots above to try and show some presence. And indeed, Fallen's going to be forced forward, automatic, trying to creep down. And that is a very surprising second frag, at least for Cloud9.
Yeah, Golden's checking for this, but still goes down, and we almost expect him to hit it. But in the default style that Cloud9 is playing, at that timing, it's pretty unlikely you're going to see more than 1 player actually in the connector. So, like, that's why I actually really love that aggression from Fallen, because as we can see, like, there was only 1 guy. There was no trade. There was no trades. There's just 3 1v1s, which is ideal if you're an AWPer, especially in those ranges. Fallen is very strong. And he's effectively given his team a 4 versus 2, obviously with the help of Phelps. And so now Cloud9 don't really have any great options. They just have to frag out, just try to find a way to get an entry kill. They have the flashbangs, and that's what they're working with. And, oh, this is a bit awkward for MiBR, but looks like it will be recovered. And, okay, in 3 rounds, in buys, only 1 player has died on MiBR in 3 rounds. I'm correct, right? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's absolutely fantastic for MiBR.
A little sloppy on rush, not clearing that left spot that Fallen was in. It's a pretty common angle for CTs to sometimes camp at that spot. And so it's, you know, as entry killer, you kind of want to try to clear everything if possible. Especially if you're alone like that. You don't want to take risks, like gamble risks, if your whole team's still alive. So play it safe.
Cloud9 on the pistols now. No grenades. P250, the Deagle, and a Glock. Look at the supports around this area. So if basically MiBR are prepared for some kind of charge, and they're more or less getting it, but it is quite separated. And they could not be more prepared. This setup is absolutely beautiful. They've read that Cloud9 are on an eco. There is a chance they could try and rush and overwhelm players in this position. And they've got a 3-man setup around connector and toilets. Phelps gets 1D looking for more information, but the start of this round was really awesome from MiBR.
Until that point, everyone was under 3 deaths in 7 rounds for MiBR. I like that setup too, because one thing I think is underestimated sometimes with forward CD setups is you can have setups where the point is to fight, you know. And they have all these like bait and switch setups there because there's 3 players invested in it. And I think those setups are really cool. I think sometimes teams are afraid to find spots, really good spots that are aggressive spots to fight. And so that's important. You never see that in bugs. Like, everyone's just afraid and no one's playing with each other, just afraid of they're afraid for their own stats.
Yeah. Yeah. What do they say about that?
Yep.
Ugh.
But if you're MiBR, you've got to be cautious not to overdo it towards these positions, because, you know, strong counterplays will start to come in, and you can see 3 players are in this position. If Fur gets more than 1, I think that's pretty cheeky, and it could. I'm curious how this is going to work out for Fur actually, because there's not even anyone that can throw a big flash for him. Phelps is coming, maybe. Oh, he's found one, and that's free. That's completely free. Spotted 1 more player too. And there's Phelps. There's the flashbang. There's the peek with the flash, and Fur's got 2 out of it. That's fantastic. He's also spotted the 3rd player. This slows Cloud9 down so much. And also utility just gone because those players are dead.
Picked off one by one. Really handicaps the push, hampers the push. Oh, Fallen, he strafes before he shoots. That makes his shot inaccurate, it misses. 35 seconds remaining. So despite missing the shot, no harm done. They still have map control in MiBR. Smoke up on short, a pop flash for Monster. Just perfectly timed. Automatic taken out. That's beautiful from Fallen. Great burst from Rush, but there isn't enough time. Too fast a moving situation. He has got no help at that point, and that is 5 rounds in a row for MiBR. It's made it a little more expensive, but it's still relatively comfortable.
They're playing really well right now. They're playing really well. And I'm really happy to see that because I've seen a lot of games where it feels like they're sort of messing around a little bit. So I'm glad that they're taking this one in a really focused manner because it's great Counter-Strike to watch. And this is one of the classic maps for MiBR, or for their core at least. I mean, SK, right? When they're back on SK, that's when they really made a name for themselves on this one.
Aggressive push.
Really big push. Kind of tells you everything that's happening.
Gotta make him scared.
First time he's going to be perfect as well. Oh, was he spotted? No, I don't think so, but... Wow.
You are surrounded. It's a 90s action movie. The helicopters are out, the torches. I don't know how Cajun B manages to win that duel. Maybe there's a chance for a bomb plant. And Molotov is surely going to land in a kill. Cajun B, 16 HP. Flashed, fallen off the angle, but Fallen will, of course, re-aggress. Would you expect anything less?
You know Fallen's going to re-peek. You know it. He does. That's what he does.
But what can you do? What can you do? You're the only man left. You've got to try and plant the bomb.
So you have to wait for the re-peek at that point.
Got to shoot him through the wall.
I would like to highlight that there's not been a single bomb plant outside of round 2.
MiBR really locking down on that defense. Cloud9 still haven't really figured out how to, I guess, defeat the MiBR puzzle.
Cold Zero's only got 1 kill.
That's actually really
He's just running around, basically.
Because he's just like anchoring. I think it's interesting as well because at Vanguard, for example, I highlighted how many bomb plants they were able to get, and one of the points I made was it's because Vanguard is a team that really understands the T-side theory, and they've spent a lot of time working out, okay, the most advantageous position to be in to win rounds is a post plant. That's the best place to be. So how do you build a rounds that will get you to that result? And I feel like everything that they do in rounds is builds them towards that result, and they get loads of bomb plants and after plant scenarios to play from, and all the money in addition, and all the extra damage incurred on the opposing team, and so on and so forth. Cloud9, they have not had this lineup for too long, and they've been shifting things around all the time. It's very difficult to have a developed T side when that's the story of your team.
Duel won by Fer and Connector. How does he escape? With support. No one's around party, but you can see the cover that's required. It is a very nervous situation when you need to get out of Connector in the first half of a round. You saw Fallen didn't even try. Got more than you might expect. A re-smoke of Monster on the T end of it, which makes it hard to burst into the bomb site. Grenades being lined up. Fallen looking to take Vice by surprise. There's a deep flashbang, and Vice will take Fallen out before the flash goes off. Fer has the AWP as he's low health. Can't really take a duel now. MiBR expectant towards both sites. Got to be more nervous towards B. I think when Golden opens this door, they're going to be moving very fast towards the B-bomb site. Looking for a peek at the moment. MiBR still going for the pop flashes. They've seen one player outside. That's automatic with the bomb as well. So the bomb's on the radar. Taco gliding through. Beautiful movement from him. Can he get another frag out of it? Jumping, delaying, doing what he can. Cold Zero in the water. Needs the rotation. Fer makes his way into the water. There are 12 seconds to plant this bomb. Nice angle, but no frag. Golden trying to hold things down. Does he go for the wall bang? Oh, he's close, but no cigar. HG onto the site, won't do much.
Oh.
Okay then, a flurry of kills from Fur, and it's from Phelps rather, and it's a 1 versus 1. Automatic makes a step. Fur has the info, jumps into the water. Fur hasn't heard it. Surely someone from his team has. They seem to have no idea. But he's still got the angle. And that will be the round for MiBR. Automatic will float in sewage, which I don't recommend for anybody.
Maybe someone talked on the team speaker or something. Because sometimes, I mean, that doesn't make sense. He didn't react to that at all.
Isn't first hearing on one side a little bit worse?
That's
yeah, but
true.
he's got 4 teammates to hear for him as well. Yeah. They're all hearing the same thing.
Some really good shots from Phelps, though.
Yeah.
That flick, that second kill really helped him save the round.
Swinging in real fast from that catwalk position, short position. Right, so another aggression towards Fountain. Both Fur and Fallen doing that, and MiBR are looking great on the CT side so far. That was the closest round that we've seen. Taco's going for a push. That's so brave, but the flash is there, but he is distracted by one of those two players. Cajun B sort of took his attention and then peeked away, and that was the death of Taco. But they got some info, but it won't be good. If Cloud9 players slow around, the info won't be good for too long. Fallen, look how much space he's got to work with. Gets a jump peek in there, gets some more information, has all these nades. Quick flashbang makes the re-peek safe, or so he thought it did. I don't know how, Automatic must have hit that shot before it popped. Or something.
Or just took a shot while he was blind and got lucky, one or the other.
That must be it, yeah.
It looked like it was money.
Lurk smoke from Automatic, denies vision from the bomb site. They can't see if anybody approaches close. You can throw a smoke similar to that from short B as well. Which, as a lurker, you could have 4 people behind it. 3, 2, nobody, 1. Don't see it too often though, at the moment, but maybe it'll eventually pop into the meta. Creeping through Monster. That Lurk smoke's done its job because everybody's on the A bomb site and they have no one to contest this bomb plant. And the man advantage. Could be an expensive round for MiBR. Long rotation for the players as well. Phelps will show some presence. Got to be really careful about that spray. And I don't know if MiBR will go for this. They are going to pick up a weapon and maybe just hold the angle. Extra no from Cold Zero now, 16 HP. So the 4th round on the board for Cloud9, the first one in a long time. Now they need to get some consistency going, some momentum in late on in this first half.
Absolutely, good round from them. 2 bomb plants in a row, second one successful. Okay, so MiBR, I like again how aggressive they've been all over the place. But the previous round, we saw that Taco went for an aggression on Monster. We're seeing aggressions toward Fountain. What's happening here is that MiBR are sort of very confident, and there is a problem with that in that they've been aggressive so consistently all the time everywhere that I think Cloud9 they're just waiting for it. And you can see there, they're waiting, literally waiting everywhere on the map for the aggression to come, and so they're in a superior position to deal with it. So I'd expect MiBR to be a bit tighter on the aggression if they go for it. And
actually, yesterday we saw that a lot of times MiBR would lose on their CT side is when they're being too overly aggressive, when they're peeking everywhere on the map consistently.
And this is a more passive approach. They're taking sewers. It's easier to take, more guaranteed. It's position as well. And oh wow, this is the big stack, isn't it? I think I saw Big using that one quite a few times earlier this year. And that sucks to be on the other end of, because not only do they see everyone, they get a kill as untradeable, or at least not traded in this instance.
Walking through Monster. 3 players still on the B-bomb site. There's a quick peek, and Taco will be punished for it savagely by Automatic. Molotov towards the water. Coles are up but blind, and now he's down. Phelps trying to do what he can. And there's Fur on the high ground. No smoke up. They're looking to burst with surprise, and it may have cost him. Down to the 2 versus 2. No, the bomb's being planted. Fur's in the water. They may not have heard this with all the flashbang spam. Completely blind on short Automatic, and now he's in a 1 versus 2. Molotov is up. Looking for the fadeaway flashbang. Up he goes. There's a smoke, though. He gets hit by the Molotov as well. Bomb starts being defused. But here's the connection with the Molotov. Oh dear.
Wow. Thought Cloud9 was going to win that round, getting in the bomb site and everything. And
Such a sick shot from automatic too.
I want to point out of Cold Zero's smoke. So I mentioned this before in the broadcast, like last week or whatever, but
So sick.
the smoke right there, you see on the left side of the pillar and the barrels, Cold Zero tossed the smoke before he died, and that allowed a lot of cover for the CT to kind of peek heaven and focus their aim towards like the pillar and bomb site area. So
Oh dear.
very important smoke by Cold Zero.
Big damage done in the first 10 seconds of the round. 3 players are now dead for Cloud9, and maybe you just gotta call this one a wash because Golden will be heard running around. Sounds like you got slippers on when you're running through the grass. And KHMP is the last man standing, so this is somewhat of an on-round. This is quite hopeless, isn't it? Poor Cloud9. It's not a good way to start off after having such a close round. But that said, MiBR are consistently finding frags. They're consistently finding the man advantage with the aggressions that they're taking. It's a really hard start to play against because you never know which direction the aggression is coming from, and sometimes it will cause you to slow down because you're going to wait for the aggression, which burns your own time. And maybe they're taking it in a different way, or maybe they push something else on the map, and now they have information for free. So it's such a commanding style.
I'm wondering if Cloud9 is just pulling out the utility too much. You know, in this situation, you're doing a default, you line up your smoke or flash, or try to flash your teammate. Seems like MiBR is getting that first pick, and they're able to just kind of fall back and run away because it's the person who might or is supposed to exchange a kill on Cloud9, they usually try to smoke or flash for the teammate ahead of them. But they keep getting picked off, and then they have to pull out the gun and whatnot. I wonder if they should try going more of a, I guess, puggier kind of style, where there's wide swinging with 2-3 people instead of just tossing nades.
Flash didn't quite go where it was supposed to, but job is done. Smoke outside Monster. This one's for the balcony. Running smoke. You can see Get Right doing that one sometimes as well. So it's a fast execute attempted. Taco throwing alert smoke by the barrels. Seems to have himself a little one way, but he's falling back. There's a Molotov around the side of it. In the water now. Rush has been blown up by KHMP somehow, and now it's a 2 versus 4. That's a very unusual team kill. Don't see that one every day. Molotov towards the short B position. Now, did it try and clear the water? The bomb is on the floor, on the bomb site. We've got a CT back by the barrels again. That's Taco. He's got a one-way smoke. So far, so good. Spraying automatic now. And there's only one kill in that push as we move into the last round of the first half.
So I saw it again. When they were taking B, Cloud9's so spread out in that monster area. You have some people trying to get kills, and you have some people trying to nade and flash for their teammates. But this creates so much spacing that they don't have time to exchange kills before MiBR relocates their positioning. So I think they have to go back over their game plan and strats and maybe tighten up on their T side instead of worrying about throwing the set smoke grenade every single round.
Well, Cloud9 might take a faster approach here. They're trying to push Monster, but there are counter grenades here. Cold Zero on the side of the smoke and sewers to continue controlling that position. And Cloud9 try to split onto the B bomb site, but both positions are ultimately somewhat denied. So 3 versus 2 with a superior defensive position for MiBR, and Cloud9 only, well, Golden's position is known, and MiBR understand that's one of the 2 players. I don't know that they've seen the bomb, but it doesn't really matter because, again, they've got all the position that they need, MiBR, to win this round. Cloud9 are going to have to work back towards the bomb, as we can see here. There's plenty of time to do so.
Sure.
And they'll likely just walk Monster. But again, as you say, Fur, when is he going to start pushing?
Never. He never stops pushing.
Bomb collected. Smoke's deployed. Bell rings for the train to pass. Cloud9 walk into Monster with a Mach 10 to lead. At what point do you start to speed up? Fallen going for the jump peeking. Big frag from Phelps. That leaves Golden now. 1 versus 3. Continuation spray doesn't quite work out. Creating space for a potential bomb plant, but it's gone backwards.
What?
What a disaster.
Yep, if you toss against that wall, it bounces back.
Well, the more you know, but it may be a very costly lesson for Golden. Going for the bomb plant, he has little choice. Going for elimination, but it won't quite work out for him. 11 rounds for MiBR in the first half of Overpass. Still looking strong. Can they continue it on the T side? You won't have to wait long to find out.
Would you rather stay? I watch you be and slowly walk away. I would rather leave. I'll take your heart and wipe it off your sleeve.
Time for Cloud9 to defend. They are a map down versus MiBR. They are 7 rounds down versus MiBR. But maybe they will find some calm on the CT side. Will we see automatic with the AWP towards short B as per usual? Or does he feel implied to move around and try and do more for the team in their current iteration, in their current situation? Because of course they need time to gel. I don't even feel like the dust has settled just yet on this Cloud9 roster.
Dust everywhere. Golden just trying to keep tabs on what the movement looks like for the DT side, and that's the thing. Like, you can press the CDs back really far, and then you yourself can then just change up the plan. And there's like a timing where they have no info, and you can exploit that. Because when the CT side has no info, either they have to gamble or they're out of position. Maybe they gamble and they're still out of position. Either way. MiBR taking their sweet time. Taking their sweet time. They are looking to go to the finals here today. They are looking focused. They're looking savage. They've been slaughtering Cloud9 in a lot of these rounds. On that first half at least, but this is the time now for Cloud9 to do what was done to them. For Cloud9 to dish up the same medicine. I like the all the nades here pressuring into. Okay, well that's didn't find anyone. Are they trying to? Okay, so they're faking into the B-bomb site now, and is it going to work? Ooh, automatic, kicking things off nicely. Good trade from Phelps. Automatic left alone on the bomb site for the time being. He's got teammates coming in pretty fast though, but they are smoked out.
22 seconds. The bomb not committed just yet. Phelps has another go at it. And in the meantime, KGB has taken critical damage.
Is it a nade?
Might have been a headshot.
Probably.
See where it ends up. Vice is lost, and they're almost lining up for Phelps. Running out of bullets, though. His teammates will need to finish off the job. KGB with 12 HP, moving around the truck position, trying to pick his timing right, trying to catch on a reload. Not necessary, gets a headshot anyway, but there is one from Taco. This one that's required. Now it's Rush. He has a kit, but he is trying to do the best he can versus 2 players. Surely it's insurmountable, undoable. And there it is. MiBR, 12-4.
Taking their first pistol.
It's true.
Cloud9, do you buy? Do you force buy? Do you go with the meta? Or do you defy it? Looks like they're going with it. Smokes, nades. I think we're a big fan of seeing smokes on the force buys, creating walls of annoyance. Oh, nice little chunk on Fur. Automatic gets a kill already, and
Yeah, that's why you get the HE with the scout. It's a combo. It's all the peaks. Fallen is not impressed with the peaks. He's 18 for 6 right now. So is Fur, actually.
Well, they had a pretty good half there, and he lost 4 rounds.
Indeed.
Moving towards the B bomb sites now. MiBR. I love this boost. First threat from NRG. So the most important thing is that the player below doesn't need to crouch for you to jump on him. So you don't jump to expose your position. You can just jump on him and you're good to go. Just to crouch jump. That's why that position is so powerful. Gives you like the exposure of a standard jump. It's awesome. And it strengthens the MiBR position, leaving only Golden with a scout. I don't expect fallen level plays in this situation. MiBR still slow, still Phelps looking around at the T-spawn area. Taco finds that final headshot. And MiBR are a mere 3 rounds away from a very comfortable 2-0 over Cloud9.
actually at the start of the round, it looked pretty good for Cloud9. They got the kill. They got over 50% damage on 2 players. And then you see Automatic keeps re-peeking instead of maybe falling back, taking advantage that you already have. And then Cloud9 just started to fall apart one by one after that situation. So, I mean, this map is designed to be aggressive, but also to fall back because it's such a long ways to A sometimes, you know, that you create a lot of... Oh, my goodness.
Ooh. Okay, let's get the hell out of here. That's abort. They know exactly what's going on. You can just rush the bomb into the B-bomb site. And that's exactly what's happening. Taco's going for it. Cold0 is trying to cut them off, but you got to be careful here.
That's kind of dangerous because his teammates have a combined 5 HP, and I understand that he's trying to cut them off and stop the rotation, but there we go. I did think that first should stay in T-spawn, but I was like, what gun do you give him? Because he can't stand there with a MAC-10 because the range is terrible. So do you risk him losing an AK-47? I suppose if 3 people went there, then he could just not shoot them.
Yeah.
And raise the alarm instead. Maybe slow flank if they go monster and just spray them down. So it's great awareness, presence of mind, and now Cloud9 have their first full buy of the CT half, and they have a 10-round deficit. Not quite nuke, but not much better either.
I've died at T-spawn once when trying to pass flank, and now I have to check it every single time. It's haunted me.
That boost is really powerful as well to throw in every so often, especially in pucks, because people are not as cognizant.
So this is a Molotov I see a lot as well. I was going to mention early half rush, kind of threw it in the other corner and not the stairs. Oh. But it's really nice because then you're able to not worry about that spot that Fallen was opted from that one time.
Rush has got a forward position there. Occasionally be defending the stack on the sandbags, looking into sewers. Cold0, it's a really important fight to win. Now that that's happened, how much do they... Oh, okay, Rush, good stuff. I was going to say, you know, you have this spot where as the T sides, you don't want to allow the CTs to know everything. So that's like a problem that you kind of have to address sometimes. If you're in a position where you can just rush down a side, even if they know it, but if you can set something up that's strong anyway, you can just go for it. But otherwise, there are spots like Infernos is really common. I can take this moment to talk about it, as I don't think Fur's got much to show for himself now. He's down to 4 HP. But Inferno is a good example of this, because what happens very commonly, the CTs will smoke Banana, and once they do that, they'll take control of Banana, they'll leave a guy there, gives them the option to rotate someone. Now, what happens then is that the CTs have full information, pretty much, of what you have to be doing, which allows them to rotate that extra player. So you kind of have to address that every so often as a T side, because otherwise you're just allowing the CTs to win the information game, and that's part of that's the whole thing. And see, if you know where the Ts are going, you can have the best possible setup for it, and that's how you win the rounds. So information is an incredibly important part of the CT side game plan, and so you got to make sure that you deny it from them when you can. And so that's why we saw Coulter going back into sewers there. MiBR had to find a way to apply pressure and presence again to B. Otherwise, Cloud9 will make it may be too easy for them. Which it was.
Too easy for Cloud9.
So well played to Cloud9 that round, especially Rush.
9-round deficit for Cloud9. These are the double HEs to go to the boost position. They do some pretty good damage. We saw them from Karrigan era FaZe Clan as well. But that's probably the most success I've seen from them so far. There are also HEs for the player who stands between Short B and Monster, which you see from time to time. Now, Golden's got to be careful. Oh, he just sees Phelps, who I think it's Phelps there, who is looking every few seconds, not holding the angle all the time. Oh, another bait. I thought he passed one bait, but there was a second one, and our Vice will pop out. Now, there is a Molotov for that position from Graffiti, which I'd love to see combined with a flashbang, but it still hasn't been done by any team. Blind a player, set him on fire, job done.
So Rush will defend Monster. MiBR now, they have to take stock. They've got 45 seconds. The bomb's down towards T-spawn, so you can see Fallen will run back. It's time to make a move to a bomb site now. And if you've created the 3v3, that's actually very positive for the T side. Sometimes it can be like, oh, you know, you've lost players and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? Actually, there's so much space on the map which is unknown to Cloud9 now, and they don't have setups which to make playing forward really all that safe. So they have to play on the sites. And this is a great response from Cloud9. They're gamble stacking A already, pretty much. They've got the third player rotating in. So they'll have a good option to defend this. Great start from Automatic. As Phelps dives through! The spray transfer's not there. And Fallen has 10 seconds to get this plant down. He's committed, and he will go down. So Cloud9 will pick up another round.
Pretty good defense. I don't know what Taco's doing towards Monster. I believe it was a 4-on-3 for MiBR, and a majority of MiBR wasn't even in the area to even help out Taco. I think they had one of the players in water, but the other two were like connector area. So I think Taco prematurely peaked Monster. I mean, he didn't have to find information. I mean, it's a 4-on-3. Work together, take something together.
Automatic towards the A bomb site. So indeed, he won't be Short B all the time. Got to rotate his position again. Stylistically, I think you have to versus the likes of MiBR. Pistols closing in on the B bomb site. Cajun B caught with a grenade in his hand, still alive though, but they've managed to burst. They're spreading, and there's only so much you can do, but Rush is in a superior position. He's got Vice for help as well. 4 versus 2. Taco looking for the rotation. The bomb is on the B bomb site, but Phelps is flanking.
Oh, that's close.
Oof, he's trying to take the fights. Gold will take him down. Cloud9 in a... Oh, I was going to say they're in a pretty good spot to build some money here, but... Ooh, cheeky little spray.
Oh, that's rude. Spray the body. That's fighting words.
A little triggering. It's hilarious how upset people used to get when they got knifed. It wasn't that long ago in CS. It's like knives have been in the game forever. Get a big money bonus, but people used to get pissed.
Dude, I get mad when I get knifed.
That's why I was very apologetic when I knifed you in T-spawn against Match Point not so long ago. Cloud9 half the score of their opponent, but they've got 3 rounds in a row. But now MiBR are back on the buy. They've got the grenades up towards toilets, and maybe Divider, I want to say, might be the second one.
Yeah, that looked like Divider smoke.
There's a smoke from the CT to create some space for Golden to fight behind. You don't want to hold a close line towards the wall. It's a very likely spray position. Taco up top, trying to do what he can. Golden tries to run for it. He has 2 players towards long, not trying to flank at the moment. They're in a very forward position, and Fur's looking for something. Starting to creep around the corner. Automatic is just waiting. There's a flashbang, and he gets absolutely brutalized. Great awareness from MiBR. Again, they've got flash plays for all these situations. If you put a Molotov towards the entrance to playground and you move towards the party area, they're ready for that. They'll put a smoke down. They've got pop flashes to flash the way you're facing and then peek you from playground. All these things, they're ready for it. They're prepared for it. So as good as the attempt was from Cloud9, this is not too uncomfortable for MiBR because they've run these drills before.
Yeah, and it is surprising though for me because flashbangs when you're peeking long is so common that I'm kind of surprised that Automatic thinks he can get away with it, but desperate times perhaps. There's a miss and got to fall back now. So MiBR take 4 positions. Really fast pace towards A long actually. We haven't really seen this. How far will they go? They could actually pass the bathroom players if they keep moving forwards. What is the plan? Golden's going to spot this. Oh no, he turns around just at the wrong moment, or a little bit too late I should say. And that's a pick. So 5 versus 4. And MiBR showed a lot of pressure and presence towards A. Now they're going to void the position. Big question mark for Cloud9 about the A bomb site. You can see they're going to reinforce it after seeing all the action there, but MiBR faking them out. And they're going to contact in to give as little warning as possible after baiting the rotation to A. That's perfectly done. That's exactly how you play this. Spot. Beautiful.
Great movement, using the curvature of the tunnel to completely change the position. When you've got to do spray control as well, that's really hard to deal with in a very short space of time. Multiple targets swinging wide, leaving Vice and Cage and B with pistols, and now it's just Vice, and he won't last very long either. 16-7, a convincing victory overall for MiBR over Cloud9 from start to finish.
Cloud9, if I were to take some back from Cloud9, I would definitely look at the demos and look at the spacing, because the spacing was a little off. Well, not a little, a lot off by Cloud9. Especially you also saw on that CT side, you see Golden being picked off a lot. There's no one to help him ever. They're too spread out, and even on their T side, they're entering like the B bomb site. You got a couple people in the back tossing nades. You got some people pushing forward, and it's just they're too spread out. They're not tight enough to get that quick exchange.
Great game of Nuke from MiBR, and Overpass was pretty solid as well. MiBR have often been a great team to watch, especially on the CT side of Overpass. They have innovated the way they have their setups. That 3-man setup, when they were expecting the numbers game to be abused by Cloud9, was really, really awesome. And I've made a note of that to look at that again later on. That was really, really cool to see. I think it was a good performance from MiBR. It was a strong performance versus a weaker team. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt. We need to see them with a bigger test on those maps to see where they are at the moment, because of course MiBR have been inconsistent recently, but that was pretty cool. As for Cloud9, for me, I still don't know where they are at the moment. I don't know if you think of it as like I don't know, like charging a battery or something. I don't know what percentage they're at right now of their 100% potential, or if their potential is limited with this particular roster. I don't know, it's hard to tell from the outside, so we'll have to see if things improve over time. Are we ready for a HyperX X Factor play of the game? It seems that we are. I have no idea what it's going to be in this series, but we are about to find out. All right, back to the action on Nuke. What is it, Dan?
Taco.
Taco got a 4K.
Is owning everyone, basically.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Great entries on the upper bomb side. It's definitely a hard one to pick just as well, because although, I mean, actually I have to say, Taco's been playing really well with MiBR recently. Like, he's been super on point with his fighting abilities. exceeding, I think, what most people sort of expect, and kind of, when they just look at his name, they think, okay, Taco on this team, I don't expect that guy to be the entry fragger or the guy getting all these clean kills, but he's been doing really well with that recently. But yeah, it's such a weird game because it's hard to pick a moment, because MiBR as a team were just so overwhelmingly better, unfortunately, for Cloud9.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's have a look at the bracket and see what this means for people who haven't seen yesterday's matches. You can see the action very shortly, and what we will see tomorrow as well. So MiBR now in the final, waiting to face INTZ or Team Liquid. Very likely to be Team Liquid, and I still think that Liquid are missing something with the loss of Taco, and maybe we'll see more of that if Liquid are able to make it to the final. We'll have to wait to see that. It is INTZ and Team Liquid tomorrow, so we'll see how that best of 3 goes down. INTZ with an uptick victory in a very long series versus Luminosity yesterday. That was really unusual, but here we are. So we'll see. Again, there's a number of teams who could still make it to the finals. Even INTZ could. So there's all kinds of madness to come this week in the North American region. If you haven't seen it already, look on the YouTube. We have uploaded a flamethrower video. Maybe this week, maybe next week, you'll see the anti-tank gun video as well. So plenty of madness that we've done here in, well, not here in Texas, but there in Texas. That is now on the YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and see those VODs and the matches as well. And of course, any questions or queries, send us a tweet, ECS or the Face It or the personal account. Plenty of Twitters to tweet. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, we are back with more European and North American Counter-Strike from here in sunny Santa Monica. We'll see you soon.